Hello, viewer. Hope you are well this Thursday evening. $4 a.m. Goodness, what are you doing up watching Twitch at 4 a.m. or are you working a graveyard shift, trying to stay awake on a slow night at work? Ah, 3D printer. One of our players in the game tonight, Michael, he also has a 3D printer, and he is very fond of making all kinds of neat stuff with it. He actually printed out a full set of the Sword Coast coinage for me from the player's handbook, where does he print minis? Well, when he gets here tonight, we'll ask him. I'm expecting him to be here. Speaking of late nights, he usually works at night. Normally he doesn't have to work on Thursday night, but he works overnight for the city. And he usually starts at 11 p.m. his time, which is midnight my time. Because he's on the western... I think he's on the western side of... No, he's in Central Tennessee, which is Central Time, and I'm on the East Coast, which is Eastern Time. Whereabouts are you from? It's 4 a.m., so you would be... Presuming that's 8, you'd be like 8 hours ahead of us. Are you like... You're like somewhere in Abu Dhabi or... But yeah, he should be along in a few minutes. Oh, welcome to our second viewer. Just running a little bit of music for the next few minutes before we start. I'm going to finish setting up my notes here, and then I'm going to go grab a drink. Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Yeah, Mario has a fun game. He's got a fun group there. I was particularly interested in his game because aside from my Sunday game, he is the only active D&D stream that I know of that's actually adventuring in Innistrad, which is a realm out of Magic the Gathering. My Sunday campaign is all about planeswalking and going to different planes drawn from Magic the Gathering. So everything in there is customized. I pull all the monsters out of Magic the Gathering and do complete stat blocks for them in D&D 5e. The classes are all kind of customized, and I'm gradually introducing all the players to scaling magic items that will get more powerful with them as they hit each new tier of play. They're tier 2 now, so they have a certain amount of powers that they gained at tier 2, and then when the characters rise to tier 3, those same items will get a little more powerful, and then when they get to tier 4, they will get more powerful still. So all of that is totally homebrew. Okay, brand new to both D&D and Magic the Gathering. Yeah, D&D is a fun game. It's been around since the 70s, 1970s, and very much improv around on the tabletop, just sort of cooperative storytelling between the person who sets the scenarios up for the players, which would be my role as the DM or Maru's role as the DM, and then the players who play off of whatever the situation is that is presented for them. And depending on what the players do, the story can go in many different directions. All right, I am going to mute myself and grab a drink. I will be back in a few minutes. Some other folks should be trickling in. Other players should be trickling in within the next couple of moments.
Go, Ace. Okay. Problem.
Okay, I'm back. I see your question. The current piece that is playing is called Dewdrop Fantasy. It's by a composer named Kevin MacLeod. You can find all of his stuff at incompetech.com. I'll go ahead and put it in the chat. These particular pieces of music are all built into the Roll20 default jukebox library. That is, Roll20 is the platform that I use and that Maru uses for his game as well. Hey, Vern. How are you doing?
Out of my mind. Phobia is killing me. Running late, having
Who is?
problems. Phobia.
Oh.
Yeah. Dental is hard to get these days, and it's not been fun even getting things scheduled.
Yeah. Hey, Chris. We have several people on the stream tonight who I was just talking to.
Yeah.
One of them is from Dubai or thereabouts, so somewhere in that neighborhood.
Oh,
And
I think
they,
before.
well, this is a different person.
Wow.
Who found my channel because the fellow that runs the he saw me as a viewer on the channel where Maru does his game. Oh no, Mike. Okay.
We are big in the world of crazy buildings.
All right, so Ghaffari or Goffrey? Goffrey, is that correct? Am I pronouncing that correct? My anglicized, Americanized pronunciation of things. Hopefully Goffrey is correct. Hopefully I'm not butchering that too badly. Oh, okay. All right. Apparently that's correct.
I give you okay. You butchered the word butchered just now, and that would have complicated matters.
Mm-hmm. I got the complicated one, and I butchered the easy one. Hey, Chris, how are you?
I can't hear him.
Yeah, Chris, we...
Doing good. I flipped the switch. Thank you. How's
okay.
else?
Doing okay. Oh, Jeffrey works too. Okay, all right.
Literally took me the entire week to decide if I wanted to roll for HP or take the average. And it turns out I'm too scared to roll, so.
Okay. Oh, actually, yeah, I just encourage people to take the average. So, yeah, I don't know that I've had anybody ask about whether they could roll for HP before.
The scare of the one roll kind of just deterred me.
Yeah.
I can't take the chance.
Welcome, James. How are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Doing all right. So Jeffrey, on the Discord, we heard from our the player Mike that I mentioned before, who also is into 3D printing. He helping his wife deal with issues with the washing machine. So he says he will be running late, but he should be here. So, hey Ivy, how are you?
Hi. Good.
Welcome back. Good.
It's glad to be back. I'm sorry, I was updating my Roll20 sheet from my D&D Beyond sheet. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, it's not O2.
No, that's all right.
Hey, I have a question.
Sure.
No.
For my wizard, now that I'm a first level wizard, first level artificer, how many spells can I prepare? I guess I'm still limited because before.
Okay, there is a multiclassing. Okay.
I know there's multi-class rules, and I still get the same spell slots. I'm just a little confused on how many I can prepare.
Okay, so now, here's a couple of different things, because they break this up. They don't put all the spell casting stuff in one place. So the first question: when multi-classing, do you get the cantrips from all your classes? If any of your classes grant you cantrips, you get all of them. So they are additive, and I think the thing. Okay, a wizard multi-classes into wild magic sorcerer. Do spells cast from their spell put trigger? Oh man, okay. No, never mind. That's something different.
I guess I want to think that it's still going to be my intelligence. I think it's probably just going to be the same as if I was a wizard. So even though an artificer, I was preparing stuff at night, right? Because the way an artificer casts spells is through, a spider, goes and heals a person, right? Or I've got my, little catapult mechanism that launches a rock. I guess I don't get those 4 little devices anymore. Those would count.
No. You still get those. If I recall, I'm gonna have to dig on this on probably Sage Advice or Errata, but I think 5e multi-class.
Do you have a PHP, James?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you go to page 164, it'll explain it thoroughly for you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just weird with the artificer though, and I guess if it still treats it as like casting a spell, then it probably just treats it as if it treats it as a preparation slot. So instead of preparing the spell, I'm preparing my little device thing. So I'm still limited to the number of according to my intelligence is what I'm thinking.
Your question was regarding spells known or prepared, I believe, and that is very specific in the rule sets that it's specific to each class separately. So you'd be basically one of each class that you are. I can't remember the artificer and wizard.
Yeah.
So you'd basically be a level 1 wizard and a level 1 artificer. Your spells known and prepared would be separate for each, and then your spell slots would be combined on the multi-class table, which is on the PHP that I.
Okay, so
so you add together all your levels in the spellcasting classes.
Mm-hmm. I'm still limited to only 3 first level spells. But if I'm allowed to have all my the same level of artificer prepared and wizard prepared, that gives me a ton of choices to use for those 3. Is that what I'm hearing?
You have the choices, but you still are limited to the number of slots.
Correct.
But you have a lot more to choose from.
Yes. Okay, cool. That's what I was hoping for. All right.
And if you're... And I'm trying to get into
2, 3,
Is there
4,
Okay, you better not be trying
Okay.
to say his name again.
Yeah, so basically, as a second level character, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 first level spells prepared to choose from, but still only the 3 slots to use.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah. Nine that you have. Now, you can still cast artificer spells in the same way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, I understand that. Okay, cool. Thanks.
All right. All right. Okay, well, we have a quorum of players. I am going to go ahead and stop the background music. And we are going to go ahead and get started with our session. So, whoops. There we go. All right, when last we left our intrepid heroes, it was the morning after the great attack upon the city of Greenest. The dragon had been driven off. The cultists got bored and tired of their games, and the half-dragon champion had challenged, and our friend Errgal had accepted the challenge, had gone out and had gotten smote by the half-dragon, and on his first death save rolled a natural 20, which means he got 1 hit point back, and he stood back up and he taunted the half-dragon, saying, "I think you better try that again." And the half-dragon said, "Oh, okay, I will." And he came back and he smote him again. And so this time he did not roll a natural 20 and stayed down. But after as soon as the cultists all started leaving, one of the medics from the town ran out with potions and bandages and got Errgal at least to the point where he could sit up, and then brought him back into the keep. And the rest of the night was spent with the heroes resting after all of their fighting that they had done during the evening, and trying to sleep off their wounds, while the survivors from the town were sent out in groups to go deal with some of the fires. Now, I believe Errgal and... No, not Errgal, but Brock and Mulek, I believe, and maybe Errgal as well, went out with some of the patrols and helped, and managed to rescue a few people from the rubble of burning buildings, put out a few fires. Osprey went out as well and saved some horses from a stable, got them to safety, and the building that the stable was attached to had been set on fire. But there was rather grim news that a couple of hundred people were dead, a few hundred people were injured, and there were several people that were missing and unaccounted for by the time first light came, and they had accounted for everybody they could figure out, whether they were alive or dead. There are a few buildings that have been burned to rubble, and so there will be people that will be sent out to look through the rubble this morning. And now looks like we are getting A few more folks in here. Welcome, Mike. Welcome. So we have Chris, we have Ivy, we have James, we have Mike, we have Vern. That's just about good enough to go ahead and get started with the session tonight. All right. Did anybody have any, other than James, whose questions I think we answered, did anybody else have questions about what they were doing or what they wanted to do when they were raising to second level? And did everybody have a chance to raise your character to second level?
I think.
Just to confirm, we didn't get a long rest, right? Because we were kind of working.
Oh, no. You did get a long rest.
Oh, okay.
You would be everybody, especially after Errgal kind of represented your group and went out there and fought against the champion from the cultists. They pretty much credit your group with doing as much as anybody else did during the night. So you're allowed to sleep in and get a full rest. So long rest, you have your full hit points. Everything that resets on a long rest resets. And the way I like to do it in D&D is that when you level up after a long rest, then everything resets. So any hit die you used will reset. Anything else will reset, because I know at first level the hit dice will reset anyway, but as you get to higher level, there's that rule that if you use all your hit dice to regain hit points, you only normally get half of them back on a single long rest. So I like to say that when you actually hit the next level, regardless of how many hit dice you've actually used, they all reset and you get them all fresh for that next level. Kind of like the whole video game thing where you level up and boom, all your abilities are back to maximum.
I am superior when I level up.
If we get a long rest, is it safe to say that dawn has come?
Oh, yes. Dawn came. Dawn saw. Dawn said, okay, this is kind of an ugly part of the world, so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going further west and see if there's something more attractive. So the sun has climbed a little bit up into the sky by the time you guys are rousing. It's probably 9 in the morning or so by the time you get fully awake and have finished your long rest and whatnot. So as you get out for breakfast, you find that the keep is a beehive of activity, and the soldiers have been pressed into service kind of to serve food and take care of immediate needs of people who have been displaced because their homes were destroyed or because they were seeking shelter in the keep during the siege. A bunch of people have been put to work doing different things, and you see supplies are kind of being sorted into different piles, and there's a bunch of tents being put up over there that are for people who have apparently lost their houses. There's kind of a field hospital over there, and that's, you can tell that's kind of been separated out. There's There's a section of it where people are looking after the folks who are right at death's door. There's a section of it for people who are not in immediate danger of dying but have been seriously injured and just need a lot of rest to eventually recover. And then there is a place over there where they're kind of taking care of the people that have bumps and bruises, and as quickly as they can get them patched up, they're like, okay, no, you're not heading back home. You're going over there to that work detail and find out what they need you to do. And so they're kind of getting everybody into the act of the recovery. And as you all come out, there's a place where they're cooking breakfast, and you see there's the obligatory big pot of what looks like some kind of oatmeal or gruel, but they also have a table over there and a couple of small fires where they have makeshift grills set up on those fires and some pans and stuff. And one of them, they're doing some eggs. One of them, they're doing some bacon. And one of them, they're doing some pancakes. So you've got those choices for breakfast. You can either get the oatmeal or you can get something a little bit more tasty.
Like fish?
They don't appear to have any fish that they are making this morning, although they probably do have some salted fish, and if you really want some, they can run out and grab some and fry some up for you real quick.
Morning doesn't start with really good fish.
So the tabaxi wants a fish, and they'll send a runner off to go look at the stores and see what they have, and they bring back a couple of salted herring that they can throw in the pan and cook up. And it's kind of has that nice smoky, fishy scent as they smoke the fish and grill it up, and then they serve that to you. And while you all are eating your breakfast, Governor Nighthill comes to you and he says, "Oh, my friends, I'm so glad you were able to help us out last night. I don't know what we would have done, and I promise you we're going to be having a word with some of the soldiers. That your friend Errgal never should have been forced to put himself out there when there were perfectly good soldiers that could have stood in defense of the town against that evil champion of theirs. Oh, despicable creature. But I have a proposal for you if you are willing to listen to it. It's a proposal that will pay before I say anything else. I would not ask you to do anything without requisite compensation. Would you be interested?
Of course.
Governor, Mr. Governor, no. Governor Domo? What's his name again?
Governor Nighthill.
Nighthill.
Yeah, you're
Mr.
a tiny bit quiet, Vern. So either I don't know whether you're sitting farther away from your mic or whether you have the gain turned down.
I can give you about half an inch right there.
Okay.
That's the only setting. That's the only thing that was anywhere different. That wasn't much different from
Okay.
where it's always been.
It's a little bit better. Yeah.
So maybe I turn up the output. I can do that by going down to the gain a little bit. Nighthill.
Yes, Governor Nighthill.
Governor Nighthill, son. Please do not be hard on your men. Our friend, he spoke up very quickly.
Well,
he was very quick to speak. I thought Broxon should do it personally. But the big giant man proved to be a good warrior and a great man that day.
Yes. They have been tending to his wounds, and I have been asking for reports, and I understand he will make a full recovery. So I'm very glad to hear that. I was worried when I saw him cut down for the second time. I couldn't believe that he actually got up after that first hit. Vicious monster.
It was really a moral victory.
Yes, well, I intend before we're through that we should have more than just a moral victory. Here is my proposal. If you can locate the raiders' camp and find out some information, I will pay each of you 250 gold pieces. That's not 250 gold pieces for your group. That is 250 gold pieces for each one of you. Because I want to know why Greenest was attacked. I want to know where their camp is. I want to know how many raiders there are. I want to know who their leaders are. I want to know why they're attacking these towns. And if possible, I want to know where they plan to strike next. Of secondary importance, if you can recover any valuables that were stolen from the town, it would be wonderful to have those returned. But we cannot bring back the people who were slain. And that is what weighs most heavily on me this morning. So if we can spare other towns the horror that we suffered, then I would very much like to do so, and we can scrape the bottom of the barrel of what's left in the town's treasury to compensate you for this.
Osprey is listening attentively, but he then looks over at the interesting scene that's happening at breakfast. I must apologize, Honorable Mayor, sir. We seem to be distracted by the great breakfast.
Fish are real tasty. I can get more fish. She glared at Brock.
Well, there's
I cannot.
Somebody will tell you that there's a stream south of the keep, and that there's always fish in that stream.
I am sorry to say that I have made trouble for the party before, so I should not be the spokesperson.
You shouldn't have told Belle that there was a river nearby.
He looks around at the rest of you and says, "Well, what do you all say?"
Fish.
Bacon as I can from Brock as he's eating it, just so I can have a piece.
Please excuse us, Mayor. As you can see, we're pretty famished. What would you have us do again? I apologize.
We'll try to find the camp where these raiders came from. and try to find out their strength and their plans. If we can understand why they are attacking the towns, where they've come from, what their ultimate goal is, and any intelligence about where they plan to strike next, that would be most helpful.
Do you have any prisoners or leads that might help?
We do not, I'm afraid. And as he says that, a young man approaches, limping heavily on a left leg that has been bandaged, and he says, "Heroes, Governor, I couldn't help but overhear. Sorry for the intrusion. My name is Nessim Waladra, and I am part of a group that has come up from Candlekeep with several of the monks. We travel to different towns throughout the green fields, and we offer books from the monastery, and we look for books to take back to the monastery to replace them. I'm asking about someone who seems to be missing from our group. My master, Leosin Erlanthar. It's important that you know. He's a monk from originally from Berdusk, but who has been at Candlekeep for some time now. He disappeared last night after we fought a particularly savage battle against some of the raiders, some kobolds, I believe, and some of those lizard things. A few others and I fought our way to the keep, barely, and he indicates his leg, and the bandages are, they look like they've probably been changed once or twice, but you can still see where, down near the bottom of the bandages, it looks like they're starting to get red again from, maybe a wound that isn't completely closed yet. Leosin didn't make it back at all. We went around this morning to look for him, but all we found was his broken staff and this choker, and he holds up a choker. He said, "Now, Leosin always wore this. I've never known him to take it off. Something must have happened to him." Now, my master's been investigating these raiders for months. I fear he may have gone and done something rash. And he might have gotten too close and might have been captured and carried away as a prisoner. Nobody understands these bandits better than he does, and his knowledge could be invaluable against them. But if they find out what he knows, I'm afraid that they would kill him to keep his knowledge from being shared with anyone else.
Where did you last see him?
And he points off over that way, and he tells you that there was a group of about 6 of them that were fighting some kobolds and some lizards. One of their number fell in the combat, and 4 of them made it back to the keep barely in a rush. And when they got there and they started counting off who was there, they realized that his master was gone. This Leosin person was gone.
Did he make it obvious where the last place he saw the guy was?
Yeah, it's kind of out to the... I'll go ahead and ping for you on the map. It's kind of out off this way from the keep. So,
Towards the river.
Yeah, a little bit towards the river. Yeah, that that area there.
Guess that's where we start. Mayor, you wouldn't happen to have a spare fishing pole, would you?
Oh,
Fishing pole? You cheat! No, with your bare hand.
Never mind.
they the governor looks at the tabaxi with a bit of concern, and then just kind of shakes his head a little bit and looks back at Brock and says, "Well, we have some mundane supplies.
Yes.
Whatever you all may need to go after these cultists. I think we can probably supply you with the mundane supplies that you need. Of course, we do not have the any magical supplies."
Yes, please, Mr. Mayor, sir. Osprey
Yes.
is scratching his back ferociously at this. I would like to get studded leather armor. My training armor is getting very itchy.
Oh, yes. And he snaps his fingers and calls to a one of the cavalry, and he calls him over and says, "Here, take this man to the store. See if you can find him some studded leather armor that will fit him." And
Yes.
and then the governor looks at Osprey and says, "Are you intending to keep that old armor, or are you giving it up, or what?"
No, I can. This armor has been through a lot in the last 2 days. Sir.
Oh, well
but you
then.
can have it. But
Yes, our leather workers will take it and we'll try to repair it and see if we can't recycle it. If it can't be repaired, see what they can salvage to use to make other armor for other folk. That would be wonderful.
yes,
Thank
that
you.
is good. But I need. Also, this is my training armor. It is hard for me to move. Belle, come bring claws. This is really bothering me.
Belle will smile happily, claw out her claws, and then go over and scratch his back for him.
Well, I can't get armor on currently, but when he has the armor.
Okay, so you guys go off, and then the governor looks around to see if anybody else needs anything.
Yes, when Mulek heard the governor offer that, Governor, would you be able to swap or spare a shield for my light crossbow?
Oh yes, certainly. We could do that.
Oh, I'd appreciate it. After that fight with the dragon, you guys could probably use some more ranged weapons, and I could use a little bit more protection. So I appreciate it.
Oh yes,
You have a shield
and
you can
he has another person come over and takes you off to another direction in the armory to look for a shield that will be suitable for you. And you guys who are making these swaps, you can just trade stuff out on your character sheet. It's not going to cost you anything.
Thank
So
I'd love to get a crossbow.
A crossbow. Okay. All right. So he sends you off with somebody else. Oh, and Michael, I don't know if you heard or not. If you have access to jump on the Twitch, one of our viewers also does 3D printing. And I was telling him, he's over in Dubai. I was telling him that you do some 3D printing. So if you want to jump in there on the Twitch chat, you can. It's Joffrey that is in there doing that. So, then let's see. So we'll get Thaldor, the crossbow, so he goes off. Anybody else need anything?
One last thing, Governor. We left our caravan on the road to the east. If we're heading out, if you could send word to them to pull into town and possibly offer them protection, I'd appreciate it.
Oh, certainly, yes. We were expecting the caravan last night, but in all the excitement, of course, all thoughts of the caravan went out of our heads. We knew it was coming. Oh, so that's where you all came. You were traveling with the caravan. Well, yes, I will definitely tell them, and I have a good working relationship with most of the caravan companies. I will tell them that you are helping out our search for the culprits of this attack. I'm sure they will be understanding, and I'm guessing that this is going to pay a little better than your what you were getting with the caravan anyway. But we don't have to tell them that. We'll just let them know that you're being honorable citizens of the realm and helping to track down some malefactors who, after all, will probably be sacking caravans before it's all over. So it's probably in their interest to let you do your work.
Brock opens his mouth in a rebuttal and then just immediately closes it and nods.
Okay. Anybody else? Going once, going twice. Okay. All right. So all that stuff gets done. And you head out the gates and you head over that way. And you realize that as you get close to where this Nessim Waldara or Waladra, I am going to put these names in the Discord for you. Monk who told you about his missing master is. The missing master is. Where's his name? There it is. All right. So that is the. Those are the names there. The Raider's Path. As you head off that way, you can tell that in the area where the battle was, it also looks like that's close to probably where a large concentration of the raiders were, because you can see the grass is trampled down, heading off generally to the east and curving slightly, it looks like, to the south.
Does it appear to be heading towards the river?
It is heading actually towards the road. It's heading towards the road, which will then eventually lead to a bridge that crosses the river. So it looks like, let me go ahead and give you let me give you a nice blue that will show up well. So the path looks like it heads kind of off in this direction, gets here.
We're not seeing anything unless... Oh, there we go.
And then, oh, that's right. It doesn't show it until I release then heads up this way, and kind of goes out this way, and then heads off this way towards that main road. And that main road will eventually go and cross the river on a bridge. And that road then just turns south. And you can see by looking at the shoulders of the road, there's signs of fresh travel. And there's occasionally there will be like the cast off of like some villagers' clothing or something. Like maybe the raiders had snatched a bunch of stuff, and then they started going through it while they were on their way, and they were like, "Oh, this is a bunch of junk," and they just threw it out. They're clearly not being very careful. So that leads you to suspect, oh yeah, okay, a bunch of kobolds. I mean, kobolds aren't the brightest things in the world. So they are doing that. And your path will continue to lead you south. So let's go ahead and get a... when you get across the river, let me go ahead and get a perception check, if I can, from everybody. Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay. Mulek and Faldor, you two notice that there's a okay, thank you, Belle. As I was saying, Mulek and Thaldor, you two notice a something curious. You see that there are similar tracks that look like they have gone in both directions, but the tracks that are leading south in the direction you are traveling, the tracks of animals and some of the people appear a little bit deeper on, heading to the south than they were when they were coming north. So don't know what you guys can make what you will of that.
So Mulek looks at Thaldor. You seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah, that's weird.
That maybe if they were hauling stuff out of this town, it would be deeper where they were heading towards.
Yeah.
And I share this with the rest of the party to see, share what we see and see what they think of it. Am I able to do any kind of checks to see if the numbers have increased? Like, what is it? The footsteps that look deeper, or wagon tracks that look deeper?
With your 23, you can tell that not all of the humanoid footsteps look deeper, but some of them do. The wagon ruts definitely look a little deeper. And some of the prints left by the animals, probably beasts of burden or something like that, they look a little deeper as well.
Okay.
So yeah, your hypothesis of them being weighed down by stuff as they're going might explain that.
Right. Okay. It appears that the party has traveled south based upon analyzing the tracks that they left. That's where you said, right? It was deeper going south.
Yeah.
So should we head south?
I would say so.
Okay.
I catch fish.
Belle, I will catch you a fish.
Okay, you guys.
No one catch me a fish.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys have gotten as far as the river, and you've gotten to the other side of the river. Is Belle going to try to catch a fish, and is the rest of the group gonna wait while she does so?
Once she hears the river, she'll run over to it and like perch herself on the bridge and stare down to see if she can see any fish swimming.
Okay, give me a
If I can-
perception.
I was going to say also, can I shoot one with the crossbow bolt?
Oh, 23. Actually, yes, you can see several river trout, Belle.
Belle's tail will start to wag and she'll dive right in after them.
Okay, well, Faldor, as you approach, you see the form of Belle up on the river, and she's looking intently down over the side, and she's looking, and then you see her tail just starts to get a little bit agitated. And, she does that thing with her front paws where she's kind of, adjusting her front paws a little bit. And then she just springs and leaps and does this. Well, it wouldn't exactly be a swan dive. It's more like a cat dive. A cat dive down into the river. And when she does, you're so startled by that. You were going to shoot at the water, but then you realize she's jumping into the water. You just point the crossbow away at the last second, and you can't help but pull the trigger, and the crossbow bolt just kind of winds over and hits a tree somewhere.
Ouch.
And as when Mulek sees that, he walks over to Thalador and says, with that type of shooting, you're going to need some more bolts. And I hand over the 15 bolts that I had for my crossbow. So you can add 15 bolts to your inventory.
Add 15 more bolts. Okay, now the next thing we need, Belle, is we need an acrobatics check from you to see if you hurt yourself when you hit the water. Whether you make a proper dive or whether you kind of belly flop into the water.
Well, she hates the water anyway, so right whenever she just realizes it's actually water, she'll probably panic a little bit. So it makes sense.
Okay, so acrobatics, yes. Now it's a good 25-foot fall to the water, but it is water. So you're not going to take permanent actual damage, but you will take some subdual damage. You'll take a D4 of... You take 4 points of subdual damage. So now that will... You won't have to heal that up unless it looks like you're going to get in a fight pretty soon. Within the next hour, that will all be healed up. But for right now, you're down 4 hit points. So
I catch the fish?
Well, that's the next thing we're going to have to do is see if you catch the fish. So now I want you to make an unarmed attack roll. I think you should have that. There should be a line for that somewhere on your Roll20 character sheet.
Will my claw also work or no?
Pardon?
My claw?
Oh, if you have a claw attack, yes, that will work. Natural weapon, that'll work.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Not really well.
Okay, well, here's what happens. This cat leaps, or not a cat, Tabaxi, leaps off the bridge, realizes in midair, oh my God, I just leaped off the bridge. Ah, that's water. and she starts to do this crazy windmill stuff with her paws and her tail. The trout that are in the water get freaked out and just scatter in all directions. And then she goes, wham! And she hits the water, and there's this big splash. And she's there kind of shaking her head, and the water's kind of in her ears and everything, and it's all kind of clinging to her fur. And she's kind of doing that sputtering, and she looks for all the world, she looks like a drowned cat. But you realize that the water is deep enough to keep you from smacking into the bottom and really hurting yourself, but it's not so deep that you can't get to your feet and kind of halfway wade, halfway kind of breaststroke your way over to the over closer to the edge. And then when you get closer to the edge, you can just kind of walk out of the river. And then she does that thing where she stands there and she shakes her head, and then it's kind of a shaking of her shoulders, and then it's kind of all the way down to her hips, and then finally her legs. She just shakes all the water off of her. Then she looks around and glowers at everybody like it's everyone else's fault that she got wet.
It's absolutely miserable.
Yeah. And just dares anybody to say anything about it. So, so did that take care of Belle's desire to get more fish? Are we able to go on now, or is she gonna want to still try to hang around and grab a fish?
She'll admit defeat in these 5 minutes.
Okay. All right.
So everyone get a move on.
Okay. So you guys travel south for a couple of hours, and you're still following this trail, and you've gone about 6 miles, and as you do, you look up ahead and you see a thin little stream of smoke. And it's the kind of smoke that looks like it might be coming from a campfire. Now, it's not the kind of smoke that looks like it's from a large campfire or a group of campfires. It looks like it's a single campfire. And instead of being immediately beside the road, it looks like from, the general direction of the road travel, it looks like it's probably off to the right, maybe like 50, 100 yards off to the right of the road. But it looks like it's a ways up there, maybe a quarter mile ahead. And the area is starting to get, you've been in an area of rolling plains, but it's starting to get a little more rocky. There's outcroppings of rocks in the rolling hills, and up ahead you can see that it's getting to be the ground is looking a little more lumpy ahead of you. So what do you want to do?
Thaldor, what do you think?
I need to put my ear to the ground and check this out. So I'm going to roll. Let's see. You said it's rocky. The ground's real rocky and stuff. Gally, say it one more time.
Yeah, the ground has been kind of rolling plains. Well, now those rolling are getting a little bit closer together and a little bit steeper. And instead of just grass-covered ground, every now and then there's like big boulders of granite jutting up out of the ground. Looks like maybe if you could imagine a person's head that was the size of a kingdom, and if you imagine walking along the gum line and occasionally seeing like a broken tooth jutting out of the ground, that's kind of what these boulders look like. They look, because they're at odd angles and things like that. So, on these little ridges.
Can I roll like a nature check to see if I know my surroundings pretty good?
Sure, you can do that.
Not with that.
Okay.
As you try, Belle will jump on your back thinking it's a jumping game.
She keeps blomping me all the time. Come on now.
No, yeah, you don't recognize this area in particular. I mean, it's it's still part of the Sword Coast, and you're kind of on the edge of the area known as the Green Fields. But you're heading south towards an area that is you're heading south on an area that is known as the I've got to pull up my map again and see what mountains these are. Just a moment here while I pull this up. Okay, so Sword Coast map 5e.
Mr. Feldor, are we trying to sneak or only to see right now?
I would say we proceed with caution. Because of all these outcrops, I'm going to think that there could be something hiding behind each turn. So in case they set up traps, or they're just being precautious and have scouts.
Oh, I see. So I will not go up then.
I think we are also trying to see if we can see if they've got any prisoners, or if we can, see if we can find this monk that maybe they was taken.
Yes.
Yeah, your direction of travel is taking you more or less to the if you continued far enough south, and it would be days of travel to the south to get there, but if you continued far enough south, you would get to the very eastern edges of the range that they call the Cloud Peaks, and that meets up with a group of, or a small little area of forest that's called the Snakewood. And then south of the Snakewood is the Kingdom of Amn, which is the next kingdom south of Eltergard, south of the Greenfields. So that's kind of, logistically, that's kind of where you are. But you're not terribly familiar with this. And I'm giving you that because between all of you, you would kind of put pieces together. Some of you would know a little bit of, what's around the green fields, and from your collective knowledge, you'd be able to deduce that that's what you're seeing. You're seeing the beginning of the lumpy ground as it's headed towards the end of those that mountain range there.
With the boulders in the terrain that we're in right now, does that allow us a little bit, allow us to be a little bit more stealthy as we approach? How far away is the smoke that we see?
Like I said, when you first notice it, it's about a quarter of a mile away.
And do the boulders go like kind of all the way up to it? Like, is there places for us to hide behind as we approach?
Yeah, as you look up ahead, you can see kind of there appears to be a group of boulders that are kind of near where that column of smoke is coming up. It looks like maybe it's behind that group of boulders. So maybe there's kind of like a little protected area where you can be sort of out of the wind or something like that. So somebody may have made a camp there. It might be like a naturally good spot for a camp. Oh, yeah, okay. Joffrey, you're right. It looks like there's a little bit of lag on the stream for whatever reason. Players, you guys still tracking me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we seem to be doing fine.
Not a problem.
Okay. Yes, there is lag.
Actually, tonight's probably been the best night we've seen so far, in my opinion. You haven't cut out at all.
Yeah, you've actually not cut out. Yeah.
Okay.
Right,
Well,
for quite a while.
Well, maybe it's a Twitch thing because I'm monitoring the stream on my phone, and I have my phone set up here, and I'm seeing where the stream will cut out. But I just typed a message on the other computer into the stream chat. Yeah, it toggles between the "be right back" message and the map, so something is going on with Twitch. Okay, yeah. Appears to be a Twitch thing. All of the players and I have a strong connection on Discord and Roll20. Okay. So, all right. Sorry for the technical issues. We will keep going and hope it straightens out. All right.
So do you guys want to try and get a little bit closer view, or do you want to send some of our more stealthy members up closer?
I can sneak up.
I'll put him to sleep.
Because I'm not very stealthy.
Okay.
They take nap time.
20, not nat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Thaldor, you wind up being able to go up ahead, and you're able to get there without any issues.
As he's walking closer, I'm keeping an eye on his flanks and just making sure he doesn't get surprised by anything.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, as you head up there, you notice the following thing. The first thing that you notice, Thaldor, is you can hear voices. You can hear some voices that are clearly human, and you can hear some voices that are kind of higher pitched and a little bit yippy, like they might be kobolds. Oops. And then as you listen, you can hear the human voices say, "Shut up, you nasty half-breeds. Just stay out of our way. We took these birds down. We're going to cook them and eat them the way we want." And then you hear one of the, presumably one of the kobolds go, "Now, nasty humans, collect the birds now. Eat them raw. Eat them fresh. You cannot cook the flesh of a fresh kill. You have to eat it while the blood is still warm." And then you hear a couple of another couple of human voices go, "Shut up with that."
I start to gag a little bit.
And so you're going to try to get close enough to see what's going on?
Yeah, I want to see who's talking. I have a feeling these are the cultists and the kobolds, and they're all taking their spoils and running away.
Okay. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and give me another stealth check as you get closer.
Ouch.
Okay. All right. Well, they're arguing with each other, so they're concentrating more on their argument than they are on anybody approaching. So you think that you have everything, or that you're not being spotted. As you crest over and you look, you do indeed see a campfire, and it's a rather small campfire that looks like it was built rather hastily. This looks to be a spot that is used by travelers or campers as a spot to rest or a spot to camp. It's kind of a natural lee, or in the lee of some boulders, protected on a couple of different sides from the prevailing wind. And there's 3 spits set up over the fire, and on each spit is a game bird. Looks like maybe some kind of pheasant, or something like that they have killed. And as you look, you can see 4 humans, each with the insignia and the cloak and everything that you associate with this cult that you saw the night before. And there appear to be, maybe twice that number of kobolds. And the kobolds are arguing, are starting to argue amongst themselves in a language that I don't think Thaldor understands. What languages does Thaldor have?
I think it's just common and elfish, I think.
Okay. Then yeah. Thaldor
Yeah, common,
does not.
elfish, and thieves' cant. That's all I can speak.
Okay. Then you do not understand this language. And they are, some of them are pointing at their own slings and, holding their bags of sling stones, and others are pointing at the humans and kind of, fingering their daggers.
Oh crap! They're about to pop off.
And the human,
In case they're about to pop off, I try to stealthily get back to the group as quick as I can and say, "We got to go now."
Okay. Well, they, with your 12, you can scurry away and get back to the group and tell them what you've seen. So Thaldor gives you guys that report, or you can tell them whatever you wish.
Yeah, I let them know everything that I just saw and says, "Guys, it looks like they're getting ready to either pop off amongst each other or hurt the prisoners." There's prisoners, right, Gally? Is that what I noticed, or they were just cultists?
Look just like cultists. The 4 humans all had the cloaks and insignia of the cultist, and the kobolds clearly seem to be part of the cult as well.
Is it important for us to stop them from fighting each other?
No. Now I just noticed and had a realization. No, let them kill each other. That's fine.
Seems like a perfect time for us to attack them as well while they're preoccupied attacking each other.
It'd be an
I want
ambush.
to watch buffoons attack each other. It'll be fun.
At least it may help us get in closer while they're distracted fighting each other.
I think strategically we wait and finish off the victor.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you guys, are you guys then going to try to sneak up closer as a group?
Guys, what do you think?
My thought was not for me personally to wait to see if they actually do start fighting amongst themselves before.
Okay, well, if you wait back here, you're going to be a quarter of a mile away, and you may not hear if they start fighting each other.
Yeah.
You would have to try to get closer if you want to be in a position where you can do something about it. If they do start fighting each other, you guys will have to get closer. Otherwise, you do have the option of just sort of leaving them to their own devices and going around and leaving them be. But it's up to you. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I say we try to get closer because they may have some intel.
Okay.
That's my vote.
I agree with Mulek.
Okay. Well, then you guys give me a group stealth check. Now, what that means is that everybody will roll a stealth check, and if the majority of people roll over the target number, then everyone succeeds.
Oh,
Got 19 with disadvantage.
Okay. All right. Well, that's 1, 2, 3. That's 3 successes out of 5.
Wow.
So you guys are indeed able to sneak up. Now I'm going to go back to this map here where you all are, and I am going to put your tokens in two groups, those being the group of those who are here and the group of those who are not. And I am going to grab this whole batch.
Am I the only one with disadvantage on stealth?
And then I'm going to go over to this map. Whoops, that's not the one I was looking for. I was looking for this map. And paste this in. Okay, so Errgal and Faerun will be down here. The rest of you will be up here. And then I will go ahead and move you to this map. You are now on the Stragglers map. And I'm going to, for the stream, I'm going to increase this size to, there we go. All right. So that's a good size that they can see what's going on. All right, so you all, I will lay out this beautiful artwork here.
Another Bob Ross, my friend.
Yeah, yes. The little happy trees over here on the left-hand side of the screen.
Happy accidents.
And these squares represent some boulders. And then these lines over here on the right side of the screen represent kind of a ridge. And there's a little bit of like scrub and brush in between these two ridges there. But you guys kind of come up. No, Belle, you don't need to add another token on there.
No, I accidentally did it.
Okay. So actually, let me double check. Can everybody activate and move their tokens?
Hey, Brock and Bell, make sure you guys are fully healed.
Yeah, Bell, it's been more than an hour, and Brock, you're fully healed. So, let me go ahead.
Also, just because it happened to me, my token is still at level 1, so I had to change it myself to the second level of HP I had. So watch out for everyone else.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's actually a good thing to remember. Remind me at the end of this encounter to update the token, because what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to open each of your character sheets and associate your updated token with your updated character, and then that way it will be fine until. Okay, Mulek, you.
Did I screw it up?
No, you haven't screwed it. No, you haven't screwed it up. It's just that the total hit points had not been raised yet to 18.
And was the blue purple circle our armor class? The right circle.
Yes. So it says 16 now. Should that be updated?
Yeah, I updated 18.
Okay, 18. All right, cool. Okay, Faldor, your token is all updated, or do you need, what's your total current hit points according to your character sheet?
15.
Okay, all right. Good. All right, so you guys get up here and you see this group, and yes, as you approach now, you see that the, 3 of the kobolds have sort of backed off over here, and they're kind of bristling. They've got their hands firmly on their slings. There's a couple of kobolds here that are grabbing the hilts of their daggers. Another 2 over here that are grabbing, and then there's one that's right up here next to the fire, and it's got its dagger out and it's pointing at one of the spits, and it's saying, You nasty humans. It's bad enough that you cook these birds. You must give us one. We earned as much as you did. And the cultists, for their part, they're kind of off over here, arrayed in a little bit of an arc. And two of them have their hands on the hilts of their scimitars. And another one has a stone jug. It looks like it's probably a jug of spirits of some kind in his hand, and he's pointing an accusing finger at the kobold by the fire, and he says, "That's not yours. We shot the birds. Those are ours. You want some? You go get them yourself, you filthy vermin." And then he pulls the bottle to his mouth and tilts his head back and starts to take a long pull. And the kobold just starts to quiver with rage and says, "You call us vermin? You soft skins? You'll be fodder for Tiamat's eggs when she comes, you filthy humans, scum." And the cultists are like, "You call us scum? Oh, kobold, you get away from our food." And they take a step forward and start to draw their scimitars. And the kobold is like, and the kobold stands there with his dagger defiantly, and he kind of looks back behind him to see what the other kobolds are doing. And the other kobolds just sort of are standing there watching him. And when he sees that they're not about to rush in forward, he's like, "To hell with you." And he just slams his dagger back in his belt, and he takes a couple of steps back.
It's pretty bright out, right? I mean, it's not. This is like daytime, right?
So you left maybe around 10. It's about midday now.
Yeah.
You've been walking for a couple of hours total, so it's maybe midday. It looks like these guys are having themselves some lunch, and the kobolds start looking at each other like they're talking what to do, and the cultists are still glaring angrily at the kobolds. So what do you guys want to do?
I'm just waiting until they start killing each other.
It looks like they might. No, I was.
Oh
Can I
wait,
help them?
maybe.
I was gonna thinking about flinging a rock, but they probably would see where it comes from. So I don't think that's gonna work.
Exactly what Osprey was thinking, but he's got an actual sling from a kobold, as it turns out. He's like, "Should I help them?"
Do you think you're fast enough?
Okay, so tell me exactly what I think I know what you're planning to do, Osprey, but tell me exactly what you.
Let me check the range on a sling to make sure this works.
30 to 120. So yeah, you can reach it, but it'll be at disadvantage if you want to try to hit any of the cultists from where you are.
I see what he's trying to do, and I tell him.
Because if it's a sling stone, it's gonna look like it probably came from a kobold.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's sling stones that he got from the kobolds in the previous day.
Yeah. You guys would all figure that out when you see him pull out a sling.
Okay, you guys go hide.
The question is then, do you want to let him go through with this plan, or does anybody want to try to stop him?
What's that want to the doofuses fight each other?
I'm actually gonna join him, and when I see what he's doing, I'm going to I'm looking around for a small rock that looks like a sling stone. Are those pretty hard to find?
No, there's little pebbles around everywhere.
Also, Osprey
it's
is currently carrying sling stones.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, I either pick one up or ask Osprey for one, and ask him if he wants to time this and shoot a certain cultist or go for two separate ones.
Okay. Hey, it looks like I see Wesley on the roll 20, so I'm going to bring Errgal up and put him with the party, presuming that he will be in the Discord momentarily.
He'll toss the sling underhand. He'll toss the sling at him, or the stone at him underhand. You go.
Okay.
And
you go to guy on north. I go to guy south.
All right. All right. So I'm going to do this.
Everybody else go hide. Go back so they don't see.
I want a front row view of them attacking each other.
Okay. So Mulek, which one was that one that you... Okay, at that guy, and you have 60 feet, and I think that is...
Well, it says 60... So catapult's kind of confusing, because it says an object flies in a straight line up to 90 feet.
Right.
But it says range 60 feet. So I'm not sure what that means.
That's weird.
Because it says range area 60 feet. So I think... Can I pick up a rock 60 feet from me and have it fly?
I think that's what it is. Let me just go ahead and look up.
I think I can.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me pull up this up. Yeah, the range is 60 feet. So anywhere within 60 feet of you, you can pick up an object weighing between 1 and 5 pounds that isn't being worn or carried. And that flies in a straight line up to 90 feet in a direction you choose.
Yeah, so the problem, because I'm doing this with an artificer, it's going to be hard for me to throw my device 60 feet to pick up a rock. So I'm basically going to...
Well, it doesn't have to be 60 feet away. It can be anywhere within 60 feet of you. So
it's going to be somewhere close. I'm just going to throw it, attach it to a device, and it's going to shoot it to that cultist.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, welcome, Wesley. How are you doing?
Long work hour.
Yeah, I hear that. As always, thank you for being on the front lines and fighting a good fight for us.
Oh.
Okay, so Mulek, your sling stone or your catapulted sling stone flies true. You're 50. Oh, that 15 is the damage.
Yeah, so
it's a dex save.
Yes, dex save. He has to beat a 14.
Okay, so let me do this, and then let me do this. Okay, so the kobold here, the cultist here. Dex save of 14. Let's see. Oh, that's not going to do it. So it's 15 bludgeoning damage?
Yes.
How would you like to kill this cultist?
Jesus.
The pebble is just going to hit him straight in the right in the middle of the forehead, and she's just going to drop him.
Okay, so.
Nice.
This guy gets splattered with a sling stone that just mashes in his skull, and he crumples to the ground in a heap. And the rest of the cultists immediately pull out their scimitars and they go, "Kobolds, you!" And then the kobolds are all looking around like, who did that? Who did that? You know, they're just surprised at what's going on, and they all kind of look back at this guy because he's kind of in the direction that it came from. Not exactly, but he's kind of like closest to being in the direction that it came from, and the guy still has his sling in his hand. He was holding his sling, but then he looks down at it and he's like, he starts to like, but he's not doing that. But everybody then is going to go into initiative, and since we have, hang on, let me double check. And Brock, you just rolled initiative. Okay, good. So everybody else can go ahead and roll initiative.
So Osprey just missed completely.
Oh wait.
Yeah, because when you said roll, I actually rolled a while back.
Yeah, I rolled a 12.
Who are you? I'm sorry. Who are you rolling? Oh, this guy. Okay. No, a 12 will actually hit. So go ahead and roll damage.
Okay,
sorry.
I had a screens. Screens. Unfortunately, we seem to have won the battle for the kobolds already.
Okay. Well, that is going to bloody him. It won't kill him, but it'll bloody him. Since we have a new or another player that is joining us, I need to really quickly go and throw. There's like a couple of guys over here that were kind of like off on their own, not doing much of anything. And then there was another guy over here kind of resting next to this rock, not paying much attention to what's going on, but they all get kind of alerted now to the situation. So we are going to do this, and then we are going to do this. Okay. Oh, fudge. It's still not. Well, I will. Okay, so there's a bunch of the cultists all get a dex of 12. So cultist 12.
So are we saying we revealed ourselves when we attacked, like they weren't fooled?
Not necessarily. I'm just saying that everybody's rolled initiative because a fight is starting.
Gotcha.
And I don't particularly want to wait around and have to roll initiative again in the middle of the fight. So we will. All right. So then the kobolds, they get a 15. Okay. So all the kobolds get a 15 on their dex roll. Yeah, I thought I had these character sheets set up so it would automatically do the tiebreaker on the dex, but it is not doing that, so I am going to have to investigate why in the coming days. Do. All right, and 15. All right, so now put it in descending order. Did anybody's... Okay, I'm just gonna count off and see whom I see on the initiative order. I see Bell, I see Brock, I see Mulek, I see Errgal, I see Osprey. Feels like I'm missing somebody.
Errgal's back.
Thaldar, did you roll initiative? I don't think
but it acts goofy. I have to roll it actually on my character sheet. I need to get a shirt this one.
Okay, so
There it goes.
Okay.
It didn't carry over from D&D Beyond for initiative for some reason.
Okay. And what's your actual dex score, Thaldor?
But now it carried over.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so descending. All right. So, the kobolds, or one of the kobolds, goes first. And he kind of glares at his companion down here, but he's like, nasty human, you should learn to listen to us. And he's going to fire his sling. He's got exactly 30 feet. So, let's see. 17. That will hit, dealing 6 damage. And that guy is bloodied. And cultist 1, who was just struck, he is like, "You stupid kobold!" And he is going to 5, 10, 15, 20 run up here with his scimitar, and he's going to attack. Hits an AC 10, which will miss. And then this cultist is like, what? And he has to scramble to his feet using half of his movement. And then he can do 5, 10, 15. And that's all the farther he can go. Oh, no, he can do a double move. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He'll run up here, but because he had to do a double move, he can't do anything. Kobold 7. We'll look and see in front of him is a guy that's injured, so he's going to go ahead and try a sling attack on him. 14 will hit for 5 damage. And there's a crack of bone as the stone hits him in the temple. And he just falls over, clutching his head, and doesn't move after a Wilhelm scream. Okay, Belle, finally, you are up. What would you like to do?
Time to stir up some fun.
Okay.
The kobolds are so famous they want to fall asleep, starting at kobold number 5.
Starting at kobold number 5. Okay, so starting here, that's the center of the area. So let me go to chaotic conjuration. Is it 20-foot radius or 20-foot?
I think it just has to be in. Okay, so if kobold number 5, it doesn't take up the full hit points. Then you go to.
Well, yeah. But yeah.
Of it. It says 20 feet.
It's 20.
It's a 20 feet sphere.
Okay, so 20-foot sphere. All right, so everybody within 20 feet of this guy. All right, so we're gonna put that here. We're going to put that on the map layer. So it's kind of...
I love that, though. That looks pretty.
Like the center of it does determine which one it attaches to first, though, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I have to get to the right layer and use the right tool to move it. All right, so All right. So, your total was 18 points. So this guy here, that accounts for 5 points. This guy here, that accounts for 3 points. So that's 8. Then this guy here is another 5 points, which is 13, and he's asleep. And then, hey, look, guess what? Just enough, 18. So that guy is going to be asleep. Then I'm going to go back to the map, and since this is not a persistent effect, people don't fall asleep when they walk into the area. I'm just going to move that away. But that's a nice little mnemonic to show us where the effect is. All right, so those 4 are asleep. That's your move, or that's your action. Do you want to move? Do you want to do a bonus action?
Bo fell on her back laughing because of the corruptus that she brought up, and then it'll be Brock's turn.
Okay, Brock. You see one of the cultists and 3 of the kobolds just fall asleep.
So they haven't noticed this yet, right?
Well, up until a bunch of them fell asleep, no, they didn't. They didn't seem to notice you. We'll figure out whether they notice you after that, but when the next one of them comes up. But for right now, they don't seem to have noticed you.
All right. Well, playing a barbarian, it's taking everything I have not to run in there, so I'm going to do my best to be stealthy. Hope you guys can forgive me. I want to draw a javelin and toss it at this guy right here.
Okay, Kobold 6. All right. Yep, he's in 25 feet. I think that's in range.
Possible to stealthily throw a javelin?
No, because they're going to see where the javelin came from.
That's gonna
Does he know where I am right now?
Okay, make a stealth check before you throw. The throw itself is okay. They're at the moment they're occupied with each other, so they are. You're going to give it away the second you throw the javelin, but they don't see you before you throw it. That doesn't give you any kind of advantage or anything mechanically, but
okay, knowing that before I don't draw the javelin. What do I do here? I am actually going to draw the javelin. I'm going to hold it in my hand. I'm going to hold my action. If anyone takes notice of us, I will throw it before my next turn.
Okay. All right. Mulek, you are up.
All right, Mulek's going to cast Minor Illusion, and at about this point right here,
Okay.
in Kobold voice, attack!
Okay, Kobold voice in common yells attack. All right. Okay, so roll me a deception check with advantage.
So that will be, all right, let's see. Oh, jeez.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm not even gonna have to roll for they
Crap.
the kobolds look at each other and go, "What the hell was that?"
Oh, jeez.
And yeah, you
Major
were
backfire.
You were going for a kobold voice, but it sounded more like a wounded goblin voice than a kobold warrior voice. So yeah, it just the timbre of your voice, or the timbre of your voice was just off a little bit. All right, anything else, Mulek?
Once I realize how bad, I'm gonna just try to slowly back up a little bit.
Okay.
And that's it. That was horrible.
Okay, and Errgal, you are up. There's not. You don't have to jump down off of anything. These are just kind of like little ridge area that you can clamber down over, but it doesn't cost you extra movement to get there. It's just sort of a demarcation of where things are. These appear to be, I don't know how much you've heard of what we were talking about, but these appear to be part of the group that attacked the town the night before. The party was tracking them for a couple of hours away from town this morning, and these guys appear to have stopped for lunch, and they were arguing between the cultists and the kobolds over some food that's being cooked on the fire. And when the tension just looked like it was getting ready to be eased, Mulek decided to instigate a fight by hurling something at one of the cultists that looked like a sling stone and killed him, which started a brawl between them. So what would Errgal like to do?
Let's see here. Alrighty.
Okay.
I think that has that correct.
Bless you.
Yeah, you've got a target here, target up here, and a target here. So you have a 30 feet. You can either, I forget how much movement you have. Yeah,
Errgal will move to there.
Okay. Hey, Brock. Everybody knows that there's more than just kobolds and cultists now. It's a big Goliath comes running out of the scrub.
I'll take out the one to his right, Kobold 4, or try to anyway.
Okay. All right. Oh, that'll hit. 7. How would you like to kill this kobold?
I just look amazed as this fucking giant just rushes forward, and I just step up and throw it right through the back of his throat.
Okay. And he hears these lumbering footsteps, turns, and a hand starts to point towards Errgal, and then this javelin just comes through.
And Errgal yells, Briark, as he charges.
Yes. Hey, if Errgal does not have inspiration, go ahead and give him inspiration for that. I love it.
He has it already.
Do you have control of your right now?
Do what?
Do you have control of your sheet? Are you able to roll?
Yeah.
Because I still have...
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me go ahead, and while he's doing that, I'll go ahead and update that. And
I'm sorry, but this reminds me of an old story that Uncle Dorsifer told me about a little dwarf guy that would run in and just go nuts. Said he'd run headfirst into battle and didn't care who was there.
Thank you, Chris, for the reminder. 22. Yeah, that's...
I missed the B-Arc reference.
It's a... God, what was it? It was in one of the old modules. Was it Goblin?
It was the key. It was a goblin who. It was the goblin term in the Caves of Chaos.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
One person would tell you that it meant we surrender, but it means hey Rube.
Yeah. Okay, so you're restraining this guy with. Did you mean to use the net attack? Yes. Okay, so you restrain this guy, and on his action, he will be able to do so, but he cannot do anything right now. So I'm going to put the net icon on him to know that he is. Okay, so that was a move. That was an action. Do you have a bonus action you'd like to do?
Yes. I'm
action search. Nice.
So the feigning attack will be my bonus, and I will halberd the dude in front of me.
Okay. Yeah, I think you only have 10 feet of reach with that. But you know what? I like your plan so much that I'm going to let you take another 5-foot step forward as part of your attack. Oh, yeah. All right. That easily hits. Go ahead and roll damage 6. How would you like to kill this guy?
Just lob off his little kobold head.
Okay. And he dies in a spurt of blood, and then several voices cry out, "Ambush!" As if that isn't already obvious. Cultist. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you done?
Yeah.
Okay. Cultist 3 bleeds. Faldor, you're up.
Dowder just sits back looking at all this and going, "Oh my God, facepalm. Okay, let me rectify the situation."
And you do notice these two kobolds over here, jumped up as soon as all the fighting started. So you notice them there.
Okay.
And if you can't see them on your map, they're down there. Oops, and
I didn't know we had kobolds down there.
Yeah.
I'm going to break in the old crossbow. I'm going to take a shot at cultists too, unless we need to save somebody for interrogation. I think we need to save one of the cultists for interrogation.
One of them is asleep. One of the cultists is asleep.
Got you. Cool beans. Then we'll take him. Then I'm just going to hit Mr. Occultist 2 on the other side of the fire with my crossbow.
Okay, so go ahead. Oh, yeah. That'll hit for 11 damage. How would you like to kill this guy?
I looked over at Brock and I was like, "Hey, watch this." Pow! Just let go of the crossbow bolt and just right between his eyes.
Okay. Yeah. He sprouts a crossbow bolt from his forehead and falls back. Kobold 6 is under a net. So he gets to try to make a strength check, DC 10, to break out of this. Now, strength is not his stronghold, but he actually does manage to get out of the net. So I'm going to take that symbol off of him. But then instead of running away, he's going to use his dagger and he's going to try to stab the...
That would be his action. That would be his action.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. That is his action. So he is...
If he can still use a bonus action or something.
Yeah, he can use a bonus action and a move. Thing is, if he moves, he's going to take an opportunity attack. But he's going to take an opportunity attack anyway. So he's going to be all strategery like, and he's going to try to go over here. So you can take your opportunity attack at him as he tries to run away. Oh, that'll hit for 8. Okay, well, he gets there. And how does your axe cleave him?
Just right in the spine. I actually meant to roll halberd, but it's the same damage. So.
Okay, all right. Yep. It just chops him right down the spine, and he falls. Kobold 10. Let's see, what range is he? Oh, he's precisely at 30 feet. So he's going to use his sling, and he's going to try to hit Errgal. Hits a mighty AC 9. I don't think that's going to do him any good. Then he's just sort of Cultist 2 bleeds. Cultist 4 bleeds.
Can't even hit the biggest, chunkiest boy here.
Osprey, you are up.
Remind me again what those circles are on the west side there.
Oh, those are small trees.
Okay, so the squares were not trees. What were the squares?
The squares are boulders.
Okay, this is all natural terrain. So
Yeah.
they didn't set this thing up. Okay, so that means that what we've got here, we'll get there. So Osprey got a walk. Probably this. Gotta go there. He's got to take that shot there. He smiles mischievously as he shoots at a kobold with a sling. And misses completely.
Yep, he does.
God, the dice haven't been nice to you tonight, Vernon.
All right.
Remember that you have Bardic Inspiration too.
Oh, you do have Bardic Inspiration, so you can roll a d6 if you want.
No. Let this be because it's fine enough. He reaches for his sling and then drops the sling and scratches his back.
Okay, so I put that little symbol. I put that little symbol on you, Osprey, to remind me and you that you have Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, there's that. Okay. Oops.
Did we lose him? I think we lost DM.
The DM was so offended at the one that he just got mad and left. But actually, his name's not going white. Whoop. Ah.
Dun, dun, dun.
The tribulations of the second level ASMR.
No, I think you just realized it.
Hear me?
No, we can now.
Can you hear me? Okay.
We can now. Yep.
Now. Okay. Yeah. I noticed whatever stupid thing Wi-Fi crapped out on me. All right. I am back now. All right. So, what happened here? So, Kobold 2 is up, and he bleeds. Kobold 3 immediately turns and fires his sling at Errgal. And he is going to AC 16. I don't think that's going to hit. Nope, that doesn't hit. Okay. So he is very sad. Kobold 1 snores. Kobold 5 snores. Kobold 4 bleeds. Kobold 9 he's going to have to move up some. So he's going to move up one there. And then he's going to fire his sling at Errgal. 21, hey! He hits for 5. I think he hits for 5 points of damage. So I have your...
Errgal sneers at.
Yeah, I have your AC still at 18, if that's still correct.
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so that sling stone bounces off of his armor, but it does leave a mark. All right, Kobold 8 snores. We are at the top of the round, top of round 2. Cultist 1 snores. Cultist 5 is going to pull out his scimitar and run at Errgal, and he is going to try to attack Errgal with his scimitar.
That's a mistake.
Probably, yes, it's very much a mistake. AC 7. It's going to have to do better than that. Kobold 7 will try to sling. AC 8. We'll have to do better than that. Belle, you're up.
I'm just reading up on something, but
Okay.
that's fine.
Yeah, remember you can move before you use a spell or use a weapon or anything. So if you need to get closer. What were you thinking of doing?
I'm thinking about doing Thunder Wave on the kobolds down there.
Okay, yeah, you would have to be within 15 feet of them. And yeah, if you did that there, that would work. So you could, okay, it's a DC 13 con save for them both. So I'm going to do them first, the one to the north, then the one to the south. So the one to the north has a 10, that's a fail. The one to the south has a 7, they both fail. And it's 13 thunder damage. Oh, you know what? I keep forgetting. I should be using this stupid tool. Well, I'm going to select them both. I'm going to do this group damage. It's a con save. DC is 13. The damage is 13. And it really doesn't matter whether they succeed or fail. Half damage. Okay. So, they both... Yes. They both failed, which is good. Because that's what they did initially. And then they both die. Okay. Yeah, I forget I have that macro that when a spell affects multiple people, I can just select them all and do it. Wouldn't have worked with the sleep anyway. I had to do that individually. All right, Brock, you are up. To recap, there looks like 2 kobolds and 1 cultist are still up.
Run up here. As soon as I get here, I'm gonna draw my battle axe, take a swing at this guy, the guy that's standing.
Okay. Oh yeah, 5. How would you like to kill this kobold?
The good old feint with the shield and the uppercut with the blunt end, and then roundhouse with the sharp end.
Okay. And he dies. That's a move. That's an action. You have a bonus action you want to do?
I do not.
Okay. Mulek, you are up. There now appears to be one kobold and one cultist left to choose from. All right.
Sorry, I was on mute. All right, I just moved down here and I'm going to firebolt this guy.
Firebolt him. Okay. Oh!
Oh, for 2. Oof.
2. All right. Well, that doesn't even bloody him.
That's such a weak hit.
But it was at least a hit. Some people
Yeah.
have struggled with hitting tonight, so.
And that's my move. I'll just stay there.
Okay. And then we're to Errgal. You have a cultist in your face who's looking like he maybe realizes he's made a mistake.
Errgal can still miss.
Yeah, that's true. Unlikely, but... Oh, yeah. Okay, go ahead. Oh. Well, that will bloody him, but it won't quite kill him. And he gets
That's all for
bloody.
Errgal.
Okie dokie. Then Cultist 3 will bleed. Thaldor, you are up.
Finish what Mulek started. I'll let Errgal take out the cultist. I'll hit the kobold.
Okay. Ooh, yeah. Piercing damage. Yeah, you don't have an ally, so just 5 points, but that's going to be enough. How do you want to kill this guy?
I'd say, Mulek, here's how you do it. Click, and all of a sudden you just see the bolt go right through his neck, and he falls to the ground. It's like, yeah.
Wouldn't have worked if I hadn't softened him up for you.
Oh, hold on. Let me yawn. Yeah, okay. I've seen your little parlor trick before. Uncle Dozafir does it to light the fires at the house and the hearth. It's funny.
And Belle would just howl louder.
I'm glad those bolts I gave you are shooting straighter than those other ones you had.
Okay, Kobold 6 will bleed. Kobold 10 will bleed. Cultist 2 will bleed. Cultist 4 will bleed. Osprey, you are up.
So Osprey calls for the broom and starts circling the area.
Okay.
He's interested if there's anything back here. He may not be close enough yet. He's circling the area, looking around, see if there's anything else coming or in the area or moving.
Okay. Make me a perception check as your action for the turn.
Yeah.
Okay. You believe that you see the trail that you've been following continuing to go on south. So it looks like the main body of the group continued going that way. So this doesn't look like it's the main group. It looks like this is just either a group of stragglers or slow pokes or irregulars or whatever that were there. All right. Kobold 2 bleeds. Kobold 3 bleeds. Kobold 1 snores. Kobold 5 snores. Kobold 4 bleeds. Kobold 9 bleeds. Kobold 8 snores. Cultist 1 bleeds. Cultist 5. Well, he's going to take another swing with that scimitar. Oh! 22. So he only does 3 points of damage. It is not a critical hit. All right. So, Hayes, looking around kind of nervously, but he seems to realize that he's dead no matter what he does. Kobold 7 bleeds. Bell, you're up.
Because she's just making fun of this whole fight because they started to fight each other. She'll climb up on Errgal, hoping that he wouldn't mind it, and just go over to the cultist and scratch his head.
Okay. All right.
Let me get a claw attack.
Four.
Yeah. You climb up, and Errgal kind of is surprised and sort of jerks and turns a little bit, and that throws off your attack, and you rake it empty air with your claw. So, and then Errgal, you have sprouted a tabaxi that's kind of got its hind legs sort of around your waist, one of its paws on your shoulder, and the other paw is kind of looking like it's trying to claw at the cultist in front of you, but just is waving in the air. Okay. Brock, you are up.
Spin around, step to the side, and attempt to stick my battle axe in this guy's back.
Okay. Oh, that will hit for 6 points. How would you like to kill this guy?
Stick the axe right in his back. As after he goes limp, I just kick him free of it.
Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. The encounter is effectively over. You have 4 sleeping figures. One is a cultist, 3 are kobolds. How do you want to disposition these guys?
Don't need all the kobolds. Let me take out 2 of them with a dagger. Let's keep 1 kobold and 1 cultist.
Okay. So I'm just going to get rid of 2 of them. Okay, so leave those 2 alive. Okay, yeah, it's a little late, but let's go ahead and take a quick break, just like a little bio break. I have 14 after the hour. Let's go ahead and come back at 20 after. I'm just going to grab some water, and I will be back for the stream. I'm going to throw on some music, and I'm going to mute myself. You guys can talk to the stream if you wish, or you can talk amongst yourselves, or you can go grab something. I'll be back in a moment.
I can just see Errgal just taking Bella off of him and just chucking her at the cultist. Like, off!
No, I wouldn't use her as a gnome toss.
Oh, okay. Not
Good
back
attack.
us either.
Now if we have a gnome.
Do not make a gnome as my backup character. Got it. What's smaller than a gnome? Is there anything smaller than a gnome? Huh. Oh no, memento.
Oh, I hit my mute. I don't think there's anything smaller than them than a yeah, he'll use a gnome for a shot put. I don't think there's a playable race smaller than gnome.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, there are things smaller like sprites and pixies and that kind of thing.
Backup character, a pixie. Only a man. Okay, 1 second. I'll be right back. My cat's calling me.
There are some days when the character you're playing just doesn't roll very well.
Yeah, the dice haven't loved you tonight, Vernon.
It's important to know in those times that Osprey still has love and energy for even you.
Oh, thank you.
Also good to know you're going to have days where you just crit just nonstop and you're just going to be the badass of the session.
So don't feel bad. It's not your fault. It's really not your fault. You didn't do it. Don't feel sad. Why are you crying? Stop it.
At least it's not.
Don't get nervous.
At least it's not because he's staring into a mirror. I can forgive it.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's a special message from us to those watching in Dubai.
Yeah, actually, Joffrey had to bail at some point.
Another miss.
Yeah, Dubai is 8 hours ahead of us, so it's going on. It's a little after 6 in the morning now over there.
What was he doing in the first place?
He was up finishing one 3D print and waiting so he could start another 3D print.
I feel him on that.
Then I think he was going to go to bed.
You don't ever want to leave those things running while you're asleep. There are fail safes in place, but sometimes you just, I've left stuff running while I've been asleep, but no big deal.
Sometimes you wake up to a big lumpy piece of
spaghetti
stuff that it looks nothing like what you wanted or expected. Okay.
Printed nothing in a while because I'm almost out of filament. I've got like a little bit left of that silver filament I printed everything with. I've got to get some regular PLA. I got to start printing some more coins and terrain and some minis, and I'm probably going to end up buying me a resin printer for minis because just something about an FDM printer, just minis don't come out right.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're not expensive. You can get into a resin printer for about the price I paid for my Ender 3 Pro. I mean, so.
What's the most common thing printed?
That's a catch-22 question there, Chris. It just depends. It depends on what you want. I mean, it depends on what you want to print. I mean, most people right now, the most common thing printed, and Wesley would know, is mask holders.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's what people are printing the piss out of right now, that and face shield holders. But other than that, most people print like things for their printer, or they print things for around the house, or they print little toys or little tchotchkes or action figures. You can print like models. Like I printed a Stan Lee bust for my buddy one time. I mean, there's just all sorts of stuff you can print.
Let me ask you this. What's the most useful thing you printed? Not to be confused with your favorite.
Spool holder for the side of my printer was the most useful thing I've printed so far.
Okay, what about like household, like common household use?
Pan holders, pot holders to hold, hanging pots and stuff. Key holders, door stops are really good. I've actually printed the holder door stop before. That was kind of funny. Just stuff like that. Coasters.
I can get behind that.
Interesting.
I've also printed some nerdy stuff that, to hang stuff with and put up.
All right. So, when we left off before the break, we had a wounded cultist, and a sleeping, or in an unwounded kobold that were both asleep from Belle's spell. You had dispatched everybody else. Before you wake these guys up, I presume you're taking their weapons from them. Are you going to tie them up?
Tie in their hand. Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Okay. So the kobold has a dagger and the sling stones. The cultist has the scimitar.
I also want to thoroughly check them for anything else that might be of interest.
Cultist has the cloak with the insignia of the cult of the dragon, and has like a little brooch clasp that's holding the cloak together in the front that has the insignia of the cult of the dragon on it. In fact, all of the cultists appear to have this, so looks like there's 5 of those that are available. And then they all have a small amount of coin, which I should go ahead and do this. Let me go to DMG. I like the fact that in this edition they brought back one of my favorite things about the first Dungeon Master's Guide for first edition AD&D was the random treasure tables based on the challenge, or it was treasure types, but each type was associated with a different group of monsters. And so like some monsters would have treasure type A, some would have treasure type P or W, and then you'd go back and you look at the end of the book and it would tell you what that meant.
P was bad. When you want is treasure type G and H. That's what Dragon said.
Yes. But in the DMG now, for 5th edition, they have it all broken out by challenge rating. And so...
all creatures of equal strength have equal amounts of things. I'm not sure if that's true.
Well, and it's different. You have one part of the table that's for individual creatures, and another part of the table that's for like a lair, based on the challenge rating of the creature. It's a simplified thing that makes it quicker for the DM to roll up random treasure. So I'm all for that. 1500. Okay, so let's see. How many of these are... There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So treasure from the stragglers is going to be... I need to get a calculator here. So it's going to be 102 pieces. Then 31 to 60. How many 31 to 60s do I have? I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 of those. 3 times that. 3 times 15 is going to be that number. Then the next category is going to be 61 through 70. So 61 through 70, I have... I have none of those. So you'll get none of that. Then...
So we have cultist slay. We have cultist captives now.
You have 1 cultist and 1 kobold captive. So then, just figuring out the treasure amount.
So which skills would I use to apply torture?
4, 5. So
Strength.
that's.
But wouldn't there be some dexterity in that? Because if you just use pure strength, you'd kill them.
Yeah, that's true. We've got a lot of kobold cloaks. We got to figure out what to do with all this crud we got.
Yeah, I do want to point that out to you guys. I don't know if you saw that, but I'm definitely gathering all those cloaks and everything that goes with them.
Yeah. Okay. I'm calculating the treasure, so
I'll put everything.
Get back.
And I'll put everything in the loot, the party treasure.
Okay.
I've got a running coin total going.
Yeah, I will give that to you momentarily as soon as I finish calculating it. 96 to 00. There's none of them. Okay. All right. So, your haul of coins from this group is you get 50 gold, 42 silver, and 102 copper. So there's no electrum, no platinum, no gems.
We're still in agreement that loot goes into the party funds and rewards go into our pockets.
10-4.
Okay. All right. So yes, you tie up the kobold and the cultist. You take their weapons from them. You collect the cloaks from the cultists, the dragon cloaks from the cultists. And then what do you wish to do?
Guess we start interrogating.
Okay, so who is going to be interrogating, and which of these two creatures would you like to interrogate first?
I'll be sitting next to the interrogator chewing a kobold horn.
What?
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Whoever's talking to the cultists and the kobolds, I'll be sitting next to them chewing on a kobold horn.
Oh, okay. You'll drag a dead kobold over there, and you'll just be chewing on a kobold's horn while somebody else is conducting the interrogation. Okay. All right, Belle.
I want to start out by...
You can get up next to this kobold right here and be chewing on him while somebody is doing the interrogation.
I want to first separate these two by like 60 feet or something, out of earshot, basically.
Oh, okay. So tell me one of them and move where you want to go, and I'll move that one with you.
Which one's lighter? Which one's skinnier?
Oh, the kobold by far.
I'll take the kobold 100 feet to the south.
Okay, so what did I say? You take it over here. Okay, and he is no longer this, but he is completely bound up. So he's very tied up. And is anybody going to go over there and watch him?
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on him. I'm not going to be involved in questioning since I rolled a 1 and a 3 last time. So.
Okay, all right.
Errgal rolled a 24 for his intimidation, so he's going to attempt to intimidate the remaining captive into talking.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm going to hurt you good, little man.
So you can go up here by this cultist, and we will apply that 24 intimidation. Brock, you... When wherever.
Well, I would have moved him to the south, so I imagine Errgal probably would have stepped in when I moved away. So I would.
Oh, okay, all right. So we'll do that. All right, so let's start with Errgal. You intimidate this guy. He's very thoroughly intimidated. You want to ask him any questions? Belle is also over there chewing on a kobold corpse and creeping the cultist out.
what questions we wanted to ask. Who you work for?
And he says, "Oh, we work for Cult of the Dragon. The glory to Tiamat. May she be praised. When she returns, she will consume all this land in the fires of her glory."
Yeah, yada yada, whatever.
Wes, you weren't here when we got our orders, but Ivy posted it in the Discord if you're not sure.
And I also posted earlier in Roll20 as well.
What are your exact? What? Tell us more details of how you attempt to your intentions of how you're going to bring Tiamat to here.
Our job: collect treasure for the sacrifice to summon Tiamat. Others in charge of collecting living sacrifices.
Treasure, you say? Where is this treasure?
It is at our camp, guarded by hundreds. They would love it if fools like you tried to sneak in.
Can I check insight on this guy? Because I think he's full of crap when he says hundreds.
Okay, kind of hard to do that from where you are, but if you want to run over there, you can.
Sorry, I didn't move my character.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and give me an insight. 14. Let me check this guy. What is the role these days? I forget what skill it's decided.
Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, that's fine.
And you, I just want to see if he's full of crap.
Okay, it's one of these roles. Yeah. He doesn't match your insight roll. Yeah, he is bluster. You get that hundreds is an exaggeration. I mean, they had enough to attack an entire town, and sack an entire town. And you saw many groups of people involved in the siege. But hundreds, he's definitely exaggerating.
I never believed that to begin with.
You're so full of yourself, man. Be honest. Because if not, you're going to die anyways.
And he looks in your eyes and he says, "If I die for the glory of Tiamat, my life is worth giving for that glorious cause."
Oh, you're not dying for Tiamat. You're dying because I'm bored.
And then he smiles at you and he says, "And when Tiamat returns, if you live that long, you pitiful wretch, she will devour you, torture you."
And he's running his mouth. I just punch him across the face.
And he spits out a broken tooth.
Nice.
They'll also chime in with a horn in their mouth and say, "Can I chew on him now either?"
No. You don't get human meat. Errgal, beat him up a little bit. Let's see if we can get any more out of him.
Tell me where the camp is. Speak, little man, or I snap your arms off.
Give me another intimidation check, because now he's been interacting with you guys a little bit. Ooh, okay. You both look intimidating at him, and he looks back and forth between you, and he says, "Okay, go ahead. Follow the trail. You'll find it to the south. But you'll be walking into your doom if you go there."
Is there any guards outside the camp, like any scouts, anything that would see us coming?
No, of course not. They all just sit around looking at their navels. What the hell do you think? Of course there are guards. What kind of question is that?
How many?
You've never been off your mother's apron strings or something. And he says, "There's enough. There's
punch
enough
him.
to see any threat." Ow!
This man uses language very strangely.
Strange ain't the word. I think he's psychotic.
Well, if you worship a multi-headed dragon and your life's goal is to see that dragon goddess raised from the 9 hells to the natural world, that's not exactly a normal worldview for humans. So psychotic might be on the right track.
Errgal, handle my light work. Wesley?
Yeah.
He's breaking up a little bit.
Okay.
Rock, do you want to just kill him, or do you want to take him with us? What do you want to do? You're the leader of the group.
Our plans are already out the window at this point. You guys go ahead.
I'm not going to make this easy for him. So I guess as Errgal breaks his arms, I'm going to start slitting his arteries.
Oh. Ow.
Hey. I mean, you know,
if we were playing Star Wars, I'd give you both a couple of dark side points.
I'm playing a rogue, and I'm like, what is it? Chaotic neutral? Why not?
They'll voluntarily puke for everyone.
Okay. So you intend these wounds to ultimately be fatal, or are you just trying to do like another hit point of damage to him?
Oh no, he'll bleed out. It's just, you know, I do it so slowly, just because, you know, he wants to be insane and be a smart aleck. I'm going to play that game back. It's like, I know how to kill you slowly. He's going to break all your bones.
He looks at you.
Errgal's not up for.
Yeah, he looks at you defiantly, and you know, you guys hear, wherever you are, you hear this uncomfortable snap of bones as Errgal just starts beating this guy to a pulp, and then Bell, you see.
Errgal.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Errgal. Sorry, what were you doing?
Errgal's lawful alignment. He's not going to torture the guy. He'll just kill him.
Oh, okay. All right. So you see that that Thaldor looks like he's going to try to just toy with this guy, and you're like, okay, forget this, and you just take his head off, or what?
I think Errgal looks at me with a disdain.
Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and just say, yeah,
there is no glory to be had here.
All right. Brock, from across the camp, you hear the Wilhelm scream and realize that the cultist is dead.
No point in keeping this prisoner. Might as well kill him too.
Okay. All right. The swift death form.
Yep.
All right.
You're not gonna try and get any information out of him before you kill him.
Well,
Too late now.
you guys kind of got information on the direction and, probably an exaggerated strength of these guys. So for loot from stragglers, kobolds, 10 daggers, 10 slings, 10 pouches of stones, average 18 each. And then cultists, 5 scimitars, 5 cloaks with cult insignia, 5 brooches with, I'm sorry, it's not brooches, it's bracers with
5
cult insignia. And 5, what is there? I think they have leather armor, but I just want to double check. Yep, 5 sets leather armor. Anything else that they have? Nope, that's pretty much it. Okay. Okay, so that's in the Discord. 10 daggers, 10 slings, 10 pouches of stones, so average of 18 each, so just 180 sling stones. 5 scimitars, 5 cloaks with cult insignia, 5 bracers with cult insignia. I think Brock has those items, and then 5 sets of leather armor. So that's what you guys all get.
I just threw all of that in the party treasure, so
Okay, all right.
and we can just divvy up whoever wants what.
Yeah. Now, Brock, this might be a good time to tell the group if you have any thoughts on what you're going to be doing with these cloaks that you're taking.
It's just clear if we're looking to infiltrate that we have the means to do so.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you have 5 from here, and Brock, how many did you have previously? Because I think you had also marked those down.
Did I have some previously? I don't remember that.
Oh,
So
maybe you didn't. Maybe James had marked.
Well, there's 6 in the party treasure right now. So with 5, that's 11 cloaks.
Okay. So there's enough cloaks for everybody in the party to have one if and when you decide it becomes advantageous to do so. Okay. All right, good. Well, then in that case, you guys head on towards the camp in that direction. Go ahead and everybody give me a perception check.
The day the ace just couldn't go.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well.
And there goes Brock with an out one.
Okay. Okay. So 4 out of 6 of you succeeded. As you are getting closer, you notice an area where it looks like the land kind of folds in on itself a little bit. Looks like there's sort of a natural veil of sorts between a couple of ridges over that way, a little bit farther to the south, and this time off to the left of the main road. And it looks like the majority of the traffic that you've been following heads in that direction, veers off the road. But as you get closer, you guys are being alert and everything, and you notice somebody, a human, that looks like they are wearing a cloak very much like the ones that you've confiscated. He stands up on top of a boulder out in front of you, and he stands up with his back to you, and it looks like he's getting ready to relieve himself off of the edge of this boulder. And when he stands up, you can then see a couple of other human heads on another boulder that is just opposite that one, that are kind of moving around. And again, you see the hair and not the face, so it looks like they're not looking at you at the moment when you notice it. And there's some scrub and a couple of big boulders around, so you guys can duck back behind that before they turn around and look in your direction. Your perception checks were basically good enough to see them before they saw you.
And how many did we see?
Hard to tell. You saw a total of 3, but you can't be sure that that's the only 3 that there are. You know there's at least 3 that are up there. It looks like that may be some kind of like a watch point for some entry into an area, because it now that you're studying those boulders, it looks like maybe they've constructed at the top of those boulders, they've constructed kind of a little wall of rocks, like that they can use as a defensive position, and then have the high ground to attack anybody that's trying to come into the camp from that direction. There's...
Oh no, they have the high ground.
Yeah, and from the way this looks, it looks like there's ways to skirt around these guys without necessarily being seen. So you guys could go around and see if you could find any other entrances, or you could try to decide what to do now that you know that these people are here. But at least one thing seems to be accurate about what your prisoner told you before he died, which was that they do have lookouts, and they do have guards. Now, how effective those watch posts are, that remains to be seen.
Shall we do, guys? Should we try to sneak up and get a first attack on them? I don't know how well we're going to be sneaking around them.
Might be able to sneak up and get a better view, see what, get a better lookout, maybe.
Bill observation was like, I think I'm good, but I could always go for another snack.
How can you think of food at a time like this?
I could try to cause a distraction, but I'd have to get within
Errgal
30
says, how could you not?
feet.
I love y'all guys.
It's Ergal's stomach kind of gurgles a little.
I throw Errgal
hungry.
Yeah, and I should say this is about another 2 hours on, so we'll say that you spent about an hour at that last campsite. So you got there about midday, you left there around 1, so it's probably mid-afternoon, 3 or 4 in the afternoon by the time you are coming up on this group here.
Wait till dark, we could surprise.
Yeah, we could sneak in at dark. Wait, do kobolds have good vision in the dark? Would I know that, or do I need to roll for that?
Roll me a nature check. See what you know about kobolds.
But these are humans that we saw, not kobolds.
Right, but you know that there's kobolds in the camp. Or you know there are
Nat
kobolds.
20. Nat 20.
Okay. Then what you know about kobolds is you know that they do have dark vision.
Yeah, guys. We'd be spotted 60 feet away with all these. If there's kobolds, we know there's going to be kobolds in the camp, and they would see us 60 feet away, no problem. They have problems seeing in light that I remember. Like bright lights hurt their eyes, but
Give me a history check.
Now?
21.
21. Okay. Yeah. Faldor, one thing you've noticed now that you're sitting there and you're starting to think about strategy and talking about and everything, it's consistently been since the previous night when you were dealing with cultists out by the caravan and then dealing with cultists in the town, and today when you were dealing with those cultists out there at that previous camp, you know that the only thing that is consistent about the cultists is that they have this bracer that they wear on their left wrist, and they have this cloak with the insignia of the Cult of the Dragon. But their leather armor typically doesn't seem like it's issued by any group. It seems like it's whatever armor they had. The clothes they wear, the boots they wear, whatever, they all seem to be mismatched. They don't have any kind of uniforms. So you know that they have a relatively consistent level of armor, but really the only thing they have that is consistent across all of them is the cloak and the bracer.
Do we have one of those bracers on? Can I get?
You have 11 of each. You have 11 of
okay.
each.
I want to pull
plenty.
Mullick. Who's good with Arcana besides? I have a plus, because I'm curious. I have a +3 to Arcana. Mullick, what do you got?
6.
Good. Can I get a help action from him? I want to take a good hard look at that bracer and see if there's anything magical about it.
Okay. Sure. Oh, wow. Okay. You look at them, and there doesn't appear to be anything magical about them. In fact, they look like they're all made of a similar mold, but some of them appear to be older than others. Maybe it's something that they get issued when they join the cult, and it depends on how long they've had, just how worn they get. They appear to be made of some kind of alloy that probably has some, probably an alloy that has some bronze in it.
I think what you had told us before, they're stylized wrist guards made of beaten bronze and etched in metal or dragon scales and a dragon head.
Yep. And some of that etching looks like it's newer, and some of that etching looks like it's more worn. Which, and a little more tarnished. Some of them are more tarnished, some of them are less tarnished.
The reason I was curious is because I was wondering if they had like some system where, I know they all have the bracers on, and I'm just wondering, okay, is there something to where if somebody wears that bracer that's not a member of the cult, it does something to trigger it to show the others that it's going on? That's why I did that.
Well, it doesn't appear to be magical, but if there's some kind of clever mechanism that's not exactly magical, the way to figure that out would be to put one on and see what happens.
Well, like if I put one of these on, will you watch me?
Sure. I pull out my dagger.
Okay. So I guess I'll be the guinea pig. I'll put one on.
Okay. You put one on, and oh my God, he starts turning into a kobold. No, he doesn't.
That'd be an easy trick.
He just now has a bracer on his arm.
Goodness gracious.
Hey,
okay.
We could, these cultists, yeah, I mean, they all wore this cloak and this bracer, but everything else was kind of different. Maybe we could disguise ourselves and get a few of us to get there close and get a first attack on these guys, or get at least a better view.
I think we should stealth in. I think the smart tactical plan, and Brock, I'll take your 2 cents on this too. It's going to be hard getting Errgal through there. He's a big boy, but if we can just get in there and just yes, Tiamat, we just act like we're just plumb crazy and we worship the dragon god. Oh, Tiamat, I think we'll be okay. Osprey seems like a good actor.
We could just decoy. We could have some of us decoy and then have the others kind of come around.
There you go. Now you're cooking with grease. What do you think, Brock?
Sounds good.
Everybody.
Two of us.
Yeah, everybody give me. Gosh. There's a 4E game where the DM always yells at one of the characters for trying to do this, but I think in 5E there's actually not. Oh, yes, there is. Everybody give me an intelligence check. This way to see if you can remember some details.
I have keen mind. Wait a minute, I have a feat. I have keen mind. I remember everything in the past 30 days.
Okay.
Roll intelligence.
Okay. Faldor, you remember this, and Mulek.
The 25. Jesus.
Yeah, Mulek, this sounds familiar to you too. You remember, Faldor, that your captive that you had at the camp earlier today, your captive talked about not only bringing treasure, but bringing sacrifices, living sacrifices for the ritual that was going to bring Tiamat back. And all of the cultists that you have seen present as essentially humanoid, but half elves, and sometimes even elves if they have long hair and cover their ears can pass for humans. Tabaxi and Goliath clearly are not humans, but a Tabaxi and a Goliath might be the captives of cultists.
It pass you, Brock, off as human to a degree.
Yeah, I mean, Brock could maybe wear like a hood or something like that, and and sort of pass off as a human. A
So-
tall.
Right. I was going to say, because Errgal, looking up at him, it's like, yeah, buddy. I don't want to put you in ropes, but we'll tie them loosely. But I think that might work, and we could just act like we're bringing you to camp, and then we could find out where they're hiding the human sacrifices.
Somehow I knew originally whenever we started finding cloaks that this would end up as this Chewbacca in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a game.
I think I know what he has in mind.
Hey,
Sewing
I've got
clothes
a
together.
bad feeling about this.
Whatever. I can't do the Wookiee growl. Okay, so yeah, there you go. That's probably better than mine. So you guys think that might work, and I'm going to give you an entire week to think about whether that's what you want to do as your strategy or whether you want to do something else, because we are at time. I want to thank the folks on the stream. We've been up as high as 6 people on the stream tonight, so thank everyone who stopped by, and for those of you who watched during the week, very much appreciate you being a part of our game. Hope you enjoyed the session. Players, thank you very much for being here. Wesley, as always, thank you for your efforts out on the front lines. I believe I haven't heard anything from Ken. I know he was off on his fishing trip over the 4th of July weekend, so maybe he's recovering from that. Not sure if he's back home yet. I will need to reach out to him to see what his status is. Any news or anything that people want to talk about for the coming week that might be of interest to our viewers on the stream?
I have something new.
Oh, okay.
I had some problems with Gatlinburg, just because of COVID and what's going on. So while I'm not doing that, I've decided to try to make a collection of everybody's, well, not everybody's, but lots of live streams. So
Okay.
kind of inspired by Mike and kind of inspired by a group called Phantasmagoria in Orlando. It's like, what we need is to be able to find all the concerts, all the things everybody is making in their live stream during this time and really going forward.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to compile a list.
Okay.
There's a lot of vetting. So right now I'm just taking ideas. I can tell you that there's live improv going on over the weekend. Group. Let me see if I find the name of the group. I believe it's in New York, called Theater 99. That's live stream. Looks like it's game type improv. Critical Role is playing right now, basically 10 p.m. on Thursdays. Ringo started a concert on Tuesdays, or concert Tuesday for his 80th birthday, and that's how the list begins. So right now, if anybody has contributions that are good things to know about, or like of that, or if you want to follow me when I have that, my name is Vernon Schmidt on Facebook, and look for the one with my face on it, because that's where I will start posting these when I get it together.
Okay. All right. So Vernon Schmidt, SCHMIDT.
That's right.
Okay. So Vernon Schmidt on Facebook. List of live stream game improv. Okay.
Well, it's all the live streams. It's all the live streams that are entertainment based.
Okay.
So it'll include improv. It'll include concerts.
Okay.
Maybe some gaming such. I mean, I put Critical Role on there.
Yeah.
So it'll be It'll be a bit of everything that is for entertainment, maybe some for education.
Okay, I'm just putting that in the Twitch chat for people that are on the stream. Okay, excellent. Yeah, now I will say I was starting to look to see if I could find a link from what you were talking about first. Everybody should be aware that if you look for Theater 99, the first thing that comes up is an actual theater in Charleston, which is closed because of COVID. But I believe you said this is something out of New York, right?
I think that's what I remember. I've been screening through a lot of things.
Oh, okay.
Theater 99 live stream. Let me see if I can find a website. I might have got it down somewhere. Are you guys?
I believe so. Yes. Online level 1 intro to improv. Now that looks like it was something that they. Okay, July 10th. July 10th. Improv comedy on Facebook. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
there we go.
Right.
Okay. There we go. Yes, there is an event.
So what did I find in New York? Oh, I remember what I found in New York. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in New York that's being live streamed. I haven't figured out what stuff is really performances and what stuff is changed.
Okay.
Again over there.
Theater 99.
Yeah,
look
Charleston.
For the Charleston location and look for their online events. Okay, so I just put that in the chat as well. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Vern. That's great. That's great to hear about. Anybody else have anything they want to announce or talk about?
My news, which everyone probably knows already, but last week was my first week in my college that I got into.
Nice.
It's called the AFAA, Atlantic Flight Attendant Academy. So it's pre-training to become a flight attendant. So
nice.
That's going pretty well. I took my first test yesterday and I got a 95%. So, woo.
That's very good.
Go
That's
Ace.
very good. Yes. Well done. Congratulations, Ivy. That's
Thank you.
That's very cool.
Thank you.
And I am doing a month-long workshop throughout the month of July. It is an outfit that's been around for a couple of years, and apparently they do 2 sessions every year. It's the RPG writers group. They do a workshop. It's like $25 or something, so it's dirt cheap, and they do a month-long course that basically is geared to this one is geared to getting a one-shot into a format that is ready to be published and sold on the DMs Guild website. So I'm going back to the one that I did in April with Mike's COVIDCon, and I am working that particular one-shot into a product that can be sold on DMs Guild. So there's a bunch of things that you have to do. There's restrictions on the type of monsters that you can use because of licensing stuff. There's restrictions on the type of artwork that you can use for maps and those types of things. Again, for licensing. Basically, you can use anything that is wholly licensed by Wizards of the Coast, because everything that gets sold there, they get a little cut of. So that's how you can get away with using all of their IP in anything that you do. So they're taking a cut of it. It's a small cut, but still it open, kind of open source then for individual creators to create new adventures for people. So that's going on for me now. And it's kind of fun. There's a really large community of people doing that, so kind of cool. Let me think. I don't know the schedule yet of any new online conventions that I might be doing another one shot for. I would, in the back of my mind, I really was kind of hoping that between the spring and the summer seasons, I would be able to do 3 different conventions and do a unique one shot for each one, and then kind of have them as something I could bundle and sell 3 of them together as a package. But it looks like at least this one will be a standalone, and then maybe I can resell it as okay. Anybody else? All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Stream, for hanging out, sticking with us tonight through the technical difficulties. I'll have to go back and look at the stream and see how much, if anything, dropped out. It looks like the streaming computer never lost anything, so it might have recorded everything that was going to be on the stream. So on the recording, you might see it all uninterrupted, but on the phone where I'm actually logged into the Twitch website, there were a couple of times where it dropped off. So we'll have to see. All right, everybody. Good night, viewers. Take care. Hope you have a great week. And